Is anyone else getting sick of the constant infighting that's been going on in this country for the better part of the last 5 years now? It seems like it's creeping into the beginning of the 2020s now, too. The blue shirts versus the red shirts. They're like two violent gangs duking it out on the streets of our cities. Me, personally, I've grown to learn these past few years that it's best to not be associated with either one of these radical freak show groups. This isn't what the country's supposed to be about. We're about cheeseburgers, Jimmy Buffett, and, well, going out to the movies. This isn't what our veterans fought and defended our liberty against foreign dictators like Hitler. And don't tell me that this whole thing might boil down to something as stupid as neo-feminism versus masculinity, or these 1960s and 70s people harking back to their liberal days of Ford and Carter giving it one last stab before they go to their boxes. Their hatred of Trump, the news, all about Trump the entire time, even when Trump isn't president. And it all seems to have started with him. Before he came along, politics were bone dry boring. No one even voted. They thought it was pre-rigged. Then he came along, and suddenly, the entire country can't get enough politics. You're either extreme left or extreme right, and there is no in between. No one seems to realize that their hatred of Trump and imperialism, it doesn't make sense. We were modeled after the Roman Empire. I mean, lighten up. It's giving black people excuse to loot their own cities, dirtying up our capital, the disillusionment of the flag, and all of this over these stupid politics. When you do this, you're just kowtowing to how Trump is. You're just being extreme like he is. And he was the one to do it first. You're just mimicking and following him and copying him. So the whole thing is really stupid. I know that it's affected everyone, even our visitors, our vacationers who come to Florida from Europe. It's embarrassing. They have to pack their blue shirts to make sure that they're not in opposition of anyone that might be serving them. Anyone who comes in this country is going to get swept up into this stupid infighting. I've myself have had my bicycle tires slashed by a group of 10-year-old thug black kids during the second year of the Trump. I was playing golf and wearing a cowboy-looking hat, and I guess what? You're not allowed to do that anymore. You can't have your own way of thinking. You're going to go ahead and give people bad looks. In fact, California developed a law called Against Political Discrimination. You should never deny a person's service or assume person's politics is one way, and especially get violent or do something stupid. That is not what this country is supposed to be about. Maybe we should go back to where we just keep our politics to ourselves, especially when they don't even make sense and they're hypocritical. I also had a Mexican immigrant guy steal my backpack with my $1,000 phone in it. I tracked the phone down to his apartment. He wouldn't answer the door. He wouldn't apologize or give the stuff back. So I destroyed his $9,000 truck. I lost $1,000. He lost $9,000, all over these politics that don't make sense. Let me explain. Which party, for instance, is the party of freedom, of not telling you what to do? Is it the Democrats, don't tell me what to do when it comes to abortion? Or is it the Republicans, don't tell me what to do when it comes to recreational machine guns? Okay, so I'm going to go with the party of just freedom, who tells you what not what to do. So which party is that? So I'll go with the Democrats with the abortion and the Republicans with the guns. Okay, so which party do I belong to? So, and we're allowing ourselves to be divided over this stuff. I think the answer is a bipartisan issue where it's kind of somewhere in between. The Uvalde school shooters took forever to get in there, but then a mall shooter took out a good guy with a gun, took out a bad guy with a gun within about seconds and saved lives. Moving along to fairness and equality. Look at the swimmer in the middle. This person was born a man, but he's competing in women professional swimming. And because the NCAA or some radical Democrats basically said that this was okay, because this person identifies as being a female inside. And I don't know if it's to irritate everyone or what, but then this person decides, so I'm going to go into professional swimming. Maybe I can win. Maybe I can win some money, the gold and silver. Anyone want to take a shot at what happened? That's right. And I don't think that the person who was really supposed to win, the person on the right there, was too happy about it. Governor Ron DeSantis did try and do something about it because the person who should have won was from Florida, but there's only so much you can do. So on this one, I'm going to side with the Republicans. I think it can actually go too far. Can liberalism go too far and actually do the opposite effect? And quickly, anyone can take a quick political test. I took one at theadvocates.com. Only takes a few minutes. And you don't even have to give them your email address or anything. Just type in immediate results. And I guess I'm this two-headed superhero guy. And I thought I was kind of middle right, but they're saying I'm middle left. I'm moderate. That's what this video is about. Too bad there aren't more of them. Moving right along with fairness and equality, there's this wacky 1990s policy, Democratic liberal policy, that it's called Affirmative Action. And what it does is it allows colleges to do the opposite of what employers are barred from doing, and that's discriminate against people based off of their ethnicity. And what it does is they say it allows blacks and Mexicans into college easier than like whites and Asian because they say they're underrepresented. Well, let me tell you something. I'm a white person, and I didn't want to go to college. It didn't end up being a good fit for me. And I kind of resented when I had my parents and my siblings try to tell me that, oh, it's our culture to do this, so you need to do this. Trying to push their culture onto me, even though it's not a good fit for me. So, did anyone stop to think that maybe there's entire groups out there, entire races, entire countries who don't like to go to college as much as other countries? So that, and also, doesn't this do everything that I thought these groups hated, where you're prejudging them? You're treating them differently based off your ethnicity and your race. To me, if you're a smart person, 1 out of every 5 people out of all races, I think, is a smart person. And if you're smart, you're going to be able to compete against other people who from other races who are smart too. It's sad because the blacks and Hispanics who do get in, they'll never know whether or not it was based off of their own merits or whether or not it's just because of their skin color. Also, this person tried to say that busing was a good idea. My friend got bused down to this terrible high school. It's now shut down on the other side of town, Manual High School. He got his ass kicked by a group of black thug students there. So who does he sue in that situation? And that lady tried to actually say that busing was a good thing. Once again, they're just looking at one side of the coin, the side of the coin of the people who are poor and everything, but they're not thinking about the other people and the consequences it has on, quite frankly, the good people. Okay, so moving right along, the last thing is this. Once the Biden administration came into power, I read this newspaper article that said basically that anyone that's in the White House who smoked pot is not allowed to be in the White House anymore. And it's kind of funny because didn't his own son, Hunter Biden, just come out with a book about how he's had about his problems with crack and prostitutes? But yet the hippie, leftist, democratic, cool people, anyone who's smoked pot, you're out. 1950s era thinking, who didn't smoke pot during the Clinton administration? So that means anyone who's honest about it is out of the White House, and anyone who lied about it is inside the White House. The White House is now basically full of a bunch of liars. What's new? And of course, you can drink all the alcohol you want, even though that kills thousands of people, is physically addictive. No problem there. And to just wrap this whole thing up, I just want to quickly say that any foreign foes would love to see us divided and weakened as much as possible. All the better for them. And there are agents out there who definitely do act, disinformation agents from China, from Russia. They're in our chat rooms, they're on Craigslist. You see them posing as an extreme Democrat or extreme leftist, saying nasty things, getting people riled up, causing people to have this constant division. This stuff shouldn't happen, whether it be Maxine Waters or Trump or whoever. No one should advocate violence. I thought young people, too, the world over, I thought they're trying to take up a new way of thinking where blowing people's arms and legs off is like part of our barbaric past, hopefully. Economic warfare, that's fine. But doing stuff like what Russia is doing now, I mean, it's too bad that they don't see that as part of their past. I mean, these are real dictators. These are people who have vowed themselves to be the chairman for life, both China and Russia. So this is real, and they want us to be as divided as possible. So after watching my video, I hope you've come to the same conclusion as me. And that is that we shouldn't allow ourselves to be so divided anymore by such wacky modern-day American politics. Take it issue by issue, individual by individual, and let's, like me, get back to being in middle politics in this country.